Well, this is what I have today. I picked this up yesterday off of Marketplace for 20 bucks. It is a Blackhawk snow thrower. It's a two-stroke, and other than that, I know nothing about it. It does turn over. Feels like it has some compression. But that's about all I know about it. I don't know how old it is. There's a lot of the stickers and stuff are gone from it, so I have no idea. It shoots a little stuck. I have no idea if it runs or how long it's been sitting. I don't know the age of it, but I will see if I can get it running. And if I do get it running, I might just give it to my son. He needs a snow blower or snow thrower, so yeah, let's just see if we can get it running first and see what it's doing. Well, let's get it up on this makeshift table that I have. It's just an old table saw, and it keeps me from bending over. Hopefully this fits up here. It will. It keeps me from bending over and gives me better access to work on these things. I really am been looking for a lift table. Looking for a used one. There's not many out there, but Marketplace is a good place to find stuff, and that's where I find most of my stuff, so I'm sure I'll find one. I just got to keep my eyes open. So let's get looking into this. A little access plate right here. There's a choke lever moving. Primer bulb. Fuel cap. Let's look into that. See if there's any fuel in here. Very little, if anything. There's a little bit in there. Actually, almost looks like water. Yeah, I might have to take that off and drain the whole thing. But I think I'm going to start by taking some of these tins off and get access to the engine. I say tins, but some of them are plastic. Okay, now it's off. I don't know if you can see in there, but get access to the spark plug. Looks like a ground wire going up to that. And I can see the carburetor. I don't know if you can. Looks pretty dirty. I was going to just check compression, but I think I'm going to get most of these tins off in this plastic just to give me access. I see this plastic right here is cracked. This must be the cord for the auger blade. Seems to be working. This spring has seen better days. Must be the chain or the belt for the auger. Either the bearings are crap or it's rubbing on something, I can't tell. Doesn't look like it's rubbing on anything, so maybe those bearings are just shot. Looks like there used to be a sticker there. One here, all it says is mixture of 50-to-1 mix. Alright, well, I'm going to get some of these plastics and tins off and see what we have access to. There's a lot of rust on here, but not terrible. I don't think this was stored outside. This one's broken. Alright, got all these loosened up, I think. So let me get this one off and this bottom one and go from there. These here are some tiny screws. I mean, that thing, there's not many threads there to grab. What else is holding this on? Looks like there's a couple down here. Yeah, there's 4 of them down here. Alright, that gives us access to the engine. So here's this little engine. There's no air cleaner on this. Snowblowers don't run with air cleaners. I mean, I don't see any leaks or anything. It looks pretty good. It's a Tecumseh engine, it looks like. It says Tecumseh on the carburetor bowl. That's a pretty small fuel tank. That's as big as it gets. Hopefully that'll be easy to take off and clean out. This fuel line is pretty rigid. It's gonna break when I try to take it off there. So I'm gonna get this back down on its wheels and take that carburetor bowl off and see what's in there. Alright, well, let's see what comes out of that carburetor. There's fuel in there, or yeah, that's all water. All water. No, I hope this isn't rusted. That passages are clear in this bowl nut and jet, but it is all water. Yeah. And you can see that's pretty bad. Just a bunch of water and mud, no rust yet. Needle moving. So we're going to have to take that carburetor off and clean it. So let me get that fuel line off. And the choke actually is moving. I mean, as much water as in that bowl, you'd think everything would be rusted, but I mean, that's just water in there. But no, it just looks really dirty. I don't think it's going to come off. I don't think it's going to slide off that. Yeah, and that looks like that fuel tank is filled with just water. I mean, it didn't break, so I might still use it. I don't know. All right. It's just hard to get into to get these off. These Allen keys with this ball in the end really helps because I don't have a straight shot into this bolt. The flashlight and everything else in the way. All right, it's loose, so there's a smaller fuel line going up to the top. I'm guessing that's for the primer. And then we have this choke linkage. Looks like I can just slide that off. I thought I could slide it off. It's proving to be a pain. This piece here, I'm trying to slide off of that post, but I'm worried it's so fragile in my brake. Okay, choke's free. I'm gonna get this fuel line off, and this is probably gonna bust. It did not. All right, there's the carburetor. But yeah, I mean, it looks, for having all that water in there, it looks not that bad. And all right, got the carburetor on the bench. Let me get some air. This looks pretty good. A lot of gunk in there, but it's not too bad. See if I can get this pin out. So just a little hammer, and I was able to come out. I don't like how that spring is in there because now I have to worry about how it was orientated on there. Needle looks good. I don't hear anything shaking around in the float. I'm just going to leave that spring there. It looks like this spring is kind of tucked under the bowl gasket. And then this part will go rest against the top of the float. So I'm going to leave that in there while I soak it. This is pretty gunked up. So that ultrasonic's heating up. I'm going to put all this in there. While that is soaking, let's see what we have for spark. If there's water in that carburetor, I just wonder how much water might be in that cylinder. Although the spark plug looks pretty good. Let's see if I can see inside the cylinder. I mean, it doesn't look wet. I see no rust coming off. That's a good sign. So we're getting spark, so that's a good sign. Hopefully just a carb clean and get this thing back together and see if it runs. While that spark plug's out, let's just go ahead and test compression. See what we're working with. I think you can see that. So that's a little bit over 75, and that's up here. I might be able to get a little more. If it's on the ground, I could pull it a little better, but you go ahead and take this fuel tank off now, get it cleaned off. Hopefully it's just these 4 bolts. Well, drop through. Just put that anywhere. I don't know if you can see inside there, but it's actually halfway. It's clean. There's still a little water in there. I'll get all that out, clean this out, blow it out, and make sure there's no water left in there. Sounds like the ultrasonic just got done. We'll see what that looks like. I got that fuel tank cleaned out, all put back in, and I was just checking while I'm waiting for that carburetor. I went another round with the ultrasonic. I'm just checking this primer bulb, and it's actually building pressure. So the primer bulb should work, and I think I'm going to reuse these fuel lines. And all right, so that carburetor is pretty well cleaned. A lot better than it was. I blew through all the passages. Everything's clear. The main jet's clear. So we'll get it back together and get it on. All right, it wasn't easy, but I got that carburetor back on. All the linkages hooked up, chokes works, and then amazingly, those petrified fuel lines, they stayed intact. So I'm going to get this back on the ground, put some fuel in here, and see if we can do it, see if it actually runs. Not sure how well this is going to show up, but I put fuel in there, and I was testing the primer bulb. And you can see fuel coming in there. So I still don't know a date on this machine. I should have looked at some. There's a code there. So I'll look at those codes and see how old this machine is before I put these tins back on. But let's see if it runs. All right, here goes nothing. Here on. All right, well, I'd say that was successful. It seems like it's running a little fast, but maybe it's supposed to, because there is no throttle adjustment on this, and there's no idle. This thing is just meant to run. The blades turned. I mean, that's a pretty good running machine. I have to wait several months for some snow to see if it actually throws snow, but I'm going to call that a success. I'm going to look up those codes. If I can get any information about how old this is. I did find a manual for it, but that's the only information I could find. I saw no other videos of anybody working on one of these, or really much information about this all. You know, Blackhawk makes other larger, you know, power equipment, but I didn't see any of this small sort of snow thrower with this little 3-horse engine. But I'll keep looking, see if I can get a date code on this engine and see if I can figure out when this was made. All right, well, there it is, all put back together, cleaned up a little, and running pretty well. I checked, did some research. I could not find a date code on this. This is the code. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, this is the code that's on that blower housing on the engine. I know it's an SKS 600 Tecumseh engine. I don't know if these are date codes. The research I did, the date code has a DOM for data manufacturing, and then a set of numbers after that. I did not see that anywhere. You can see a lot of the stickers or anything have long been gone off this machine. So if anybody knows what those other numbers after that bottle number of the Tecumseh engine is, let me know. I'd like to know what year this was made and how old this machine is. But for now, for $20, I think it's a pretty darn good buy. It runs and moves, and we'll wait to see in several months. Right now it's August. It's a pretty nice day, but it's nowhere near snow. So if we get some snow, I'll test this out again. But that's it for this one. I appreciate you watching, and see you on the next one. Thanks.